This passage through the highlands of Malaysia takes me into some of the most fascinating terrain in the country. Navigating the jungles in the heart of the peninsula, getting lost in the cool, crisp air of its hill stations.
Lovely.
Exploring some of the most remote parts of Malaysian Borneo. In search of the fascinating tribal cultures of its highlands.
Oh my gosh, I've never seen anything like this before.
This is a journey that leads me all the way up to the rooftop of the region.
Kinabalu, the mother of all mountains in Southeast Asia. In the land below the winds, it rises high above the clouds. And it's the apex of this incredible passage.
That was the scariest thing of my life. Oh, Kinabalu.
Welcome to the High Life. I'm Denise Keller, and this
Is my passage to Malaysia.
I wouldn't normally want to start any journey with my head in the clouds. But here in Cameron Highlands, residents like Gerard Francis like to begin their day on a high note.
how high up are we?
When we reach to the top, we'll be about 6,666 feet high above sea level.
You know what, I really feel like I'm on the set of Lord of the Rings here. It's so mossy.
The reason there's so many mosses around is because of we are basically walking in the forest, in the clouds, and there's a lot of water being retained.
Yeah.
So that's where all the mosses grow. So here we are, almost to the peak.
You can't see anything. It's just mists of Cameron Highlands.
Cameron Highlands sits in the heart of the Banjaran Titiwangsa, the main mountain range that forms the spine, running nearly 500 kilometers north to south down the middle of Peninsular Malaysia. The range acts as a natural divider, separating the weather patterns between east and west coast. Its elevation from the tropical heat of the lowlands and its high rainfall have made Cameron Highlands the prime spot, famous for growing some of the finest fruit, vegetables, and flowers in the country.
The rain has no effect on your farming at all.
Yeah, because it's all covered up, greenhouse.
So you're always in control. But the climate here is perfect for pretty much anything that you want to grow.
Yeah, it's about 18 to 28 degrees throughout the year. So throughout the year, we can produce flowers, vegetables, and fruits. I think nowhere else in the world.
And these here are the pipes for the fertilizer that goes through.
Fertilizer, yeah. So this is also hydroponics. At present, we are bringing the water source from a new area from the jungle.
And it just feeds the entire farm.
Daily per plant, we feed about 200 ml. Less fertilizer, pesticide, clean.
Hydroponics is a fairly new introduction by Kuma to an old family business built on Cameron's iconic tropical anomaly.
And I heard that strawberries are really sensitive.
Not easy. The most difficult. During cold season, we have fungal problem. And then during hot season, we get lots of insects.
Yeah, but you got some big kahunas here.
Yeah.
And Cameron Highlands is kind of known for it, right? From the very beginning.
For strawberries, yeah. I was born in 1958. Ever since, every farmer will grow a little bit of strawberries. Everybody loves strawberries.
Stop eating the strawberries! I'm watching you!
As soon as the weather clears up, Gerard introduces me to some of the other iconic features of Cameron's farming culture.
There you go.
And another one, and another one.
With 7,000 Land Rovers serving a population of just over 30,000, Gerard reckons Cameron Highlands could well be the Land Rover capital of the world.
What the Land Rovers do is they drive and maneuver the steep slopes, pick up the product from the local farmer, and transport it to the big trucks. And they found it's a very strong workhorse, so it kept its identity and it became the land of the Land Rovers.
With tons of fresh produce every day, Cameron's is the veritable vegetable bowl of the country. The combination of its cool climate and fertile soil is what inspired Feng Qixiang to cultivate a completely organic existence.
How did you get to Cameron Highlands, Feng?
It's the wind, cool wind of Cameron Highlands. The wind brought me to this farm, and that was the first time I ever fell in love at first sight.
There you go. There's always a love story.
Feng believes that sharing a sanctuary of tender, loving care with all the natural elements makes his vegetables more nutritious.
This natural symphony going. So we love them here.
It's all about coexisting.
Yes.
They're our friends.
Very good friend.
Very good friends.
The birds and the insects plus the wind, that makes up the natural symphony here. So we believe that it is good for the people, for the crops.
For the plants.
Natural soundtrack.
We tried this.
There you have it. That's a soybean for you.
Lovely.
Ah, there we go.
Carrot smell. Smell of carrot.
It's like carrot juice. Oh, this is good.
This is Roselle.
Can we try it? It just tastes better. Everything tastes better here.
You live in a good environment, your mood is better, your health is better, your life is so much better. That is the beauty of organic farming.
Oh, smells good. Would you like some more tea?
Please.
Cheers.
Cheers.
After a hard day's work.
Yeah, exactly.
Chin chin.
Chin chin.
À votre santé.
À votre santé. It's a herbal tea, yeah?
The mulberry leaf is good for the eyes. The black face general is anti-cancer. So it can be good for you and taste great too at the same time. And it's organic.
Everything I tasted today was great. So we need to talk business here.
Let's talk to the wind.
Cameron Highlands lies in the state of Pahang, but the same mountain range it sits on, Titi Wangsa, runs through several other states in peninsular Malaysia, like Perak. More visitors are beginning to explore jungle treks from Camerons all the way down to ecotourism havens like Gopeng, located just outside Perak's capital, Ipoh. Navigating some of the oldest rainforests in the world is best done with the people who know this terrain best. My guide today, Vanessa Yeo, got to know her way around the forest with the help of local Orang Asli, or Aboriginal tribesmen like Samran.
Wow, that one's full in bloom.
They only grow in really remote places of the forest. They get as big as 1 meter. So St. Andrew's cross spider, they go over the web into that X shape.
Yeah.
This plant here, it's called Panah Arjuna. They brew a tea out of it from the roots, and men drink it, and it's supposed to give them some oomph.
Ooh, mojo.
Yeah. This one here is called Kachit Fatima, and that does the same thing as well, but for ladies.
So what if you get it all swapped up? What if I take this instead of that?
Oh, you're welcome to give it a try, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't recommend it.
Maybe for later.
You actually need the root, not the leaf.
Damn, rats. Okay, go back. Get the root.
I soon discovered, though, that the rich diversity of flora in these forests offer not just elixirs of life, but also some rather poisonous agents of death, like the sap of the Ipoh tree.
If it gets into your mouth, then you're done for. So you might want to stand back, because even the fumes from it is enough to make you fall sick and die.
That's great. That's good to know, Vanessa. Oh, there. Look, it's dripping.
Dia 1 ml, 2 ml. Kalau kita punya dat tu kan, kita boleh dapat dalam 10 atau 15 lah.
Basically, it's a muscle relaxant. It'll slow your heart down completely until it just doesn't beat anymore.
Nice. How far can you shoot with these darts?
Paling jauh 20 meter.
About 20 meters.
Whew. Ready or not, blowpipe 101 for Denise.
Oh, pretty good. Not bad.
There we go. Well done, Denise. Oh, let's try and get this out. Pat on the back.
Kita boleh mencari pemburu ke?
Saya rasa belum lagi.
You think it's not quite, not yet.
Not up to his standard yet.
And as a descendant of probably the oldest inhabitants of the peninsula, Samran sets a pretty high standard of hunter-gatherer skills.
Oh, he's gone missing. Where's Samran? Oh, yes, scored.
You got one.
We got an ikan.
Ikan tengah.
Tingas.
Tingas.
These are the tasty ones.
Oh, yummy. I got it. Of course I did. I'm sorry, Samran.
Now, I may not have honed my hunting skills, but I should at least walk away from this with some basic tips on jungle navigation.
Kalau kita naik ke bukit, kita akan cari lembah. Dan lembah tu dia mesti ada anak sungai. Sungai yang kecil lah. Selepas tu baru kita akan menyusuri ikut sungai kecil sehingga dia sampai ke sungai besar. Sebab sungai besar dia akan menuju ke arah perkampungan ataupun dia akan menuju ke pekan.
So it's always the river, isn't it?
Vanessa insists the best way to experience the gorgeous rivers of these hills is to just take the plunge.
In case you fall out, okay, the number one thing you have to remember is never try to stand up.
Alright, forward, Meadow. Forward,
So what's coming up next?
We like to call it double-decker.
Ooh, I like the sound of it.
But it's also known as easy drop because it's very easy to get it wrong and then be in for a wild ride.
Now an expert at jungle navigation, I head back up to Cameron's to follow up on a mysterious case of disappearance.
I believe he just disappeared because he doesn't want to be seen. It's like Elvis, you know?
Up next, Malaysia's most famous unsolved missing persons report.
The last place that he was seen, see that rock?
Just there?
Yeah, right there.
Back up in the cool and misty Cameron Highlands, my guide Gerard Francis explains why this hill station was set up as the perfect retreat from the heat and hustle of the tropics.
I think the main reason people come to the Cameron Highlands is the weather.
Yeah.
And when the soldiers were here, this is the perfect English climate, so they come here for the hour rest and recuperate. So that's when it became famous.
Among the quaint old colonial bungalows that dot these hills, there's one which played a part in the most famous story of the Cameron Highlands. In 1967, the legendary Thai silk industry king, Jim Thompson, left Moonlight Bungalow for a casual Sunday afternoon stroll, but never came back. To this day, Thompson's disappearance remains the iconic mystery of these hills.
Hello, Denise. Nice to see you.
What a wonderful view you have here.
Isn't it great? So probably, I like to say, the best view in the Cameron Highlands.
I think you have the best view.
Yeah.
What brought you here? I mean, you're a man of the sea, a captain, and here we are in Cameron Highlands.
Well, look at it. This is what brought me here.
Yeah.
The climate.
The climate's wonderful.
When I first came to the Cameron Highlands in 1951, I was in the police at the time.
Captain Philip Rivers has spent the better part of his retirement here, sifting through the clues and conspiracies surrounding the Jim Thompson story. And he believes he may have solved it.
The conspiracy theory came into being when they got a bloke called Peter Herkos. He was a psychic detective from Los Angeles. He came up with the idea that Thompson was kidnapped. So all the conspiracy theories all come from this. Having seen police documents, I've come to the conclusion that Thompson never left the hills.
We set off on a trail to retrace the last known steps Thompson took, and to debunk what Rivers believes are myths born from his suspected links to intelligence agencies.
Now, in John Thompson's time, this road was just an old jeep track which was overgrown. The last place that he was seen
Yeah.
is just here. See that rock?
Just there?
Yeah, right there. Thompson went disappearing on Easter Sunday. You see that bridge up there?
Yes.
Some ladies saw a European over there.
Right.
So they thought that perhaps that might have been...
But it wasn't.
But it wasn't,
It
like
wasn't
so many
Jim
of them.
Thompson.
We're now at the second last place that Jim Thompson was seen. He was seen here at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
4 p.m.
Yeah.
All right.
And you can just see the road going up there. That's the road that goes to Moonlight Bungalow.
Where he was staying.
Here you see, Thompson was in this room down here at the bottom. Thompson got lost on the Saturday morning. And he went through here where there was a path that went down the hill. Okay. And he was bound for the golf course. On the Sunday, when he's supposed to have disappeared and gone into the jungle, you had an idea he couldn't have gone very far. You've got an Orang Asli settlement just down there. They would have found some remains. And some remains were found, but as I say, that's another story.
It's always another story.
I believe he just disappeared because he doesn't want to be seen. It's like Elvis, you know?
Do people debate about that?
Everybody has a story to tell.
And here we are at the time tunnel. And that's Jim Thompson himself.
And there he is.
The young Thompson when he was in the OSS. My theory is that he never left the hills. He was probably died of an accident.
You don't believe that he died in the hills?
No.
What happened?
He left the hill actually.
And what do you have to say to that?
No, it's not so.
It's not so?
No.
Okay, ding, 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 one off.
No, I think I've heard every story that's come up about the mystery, but the only thing that's missing is UFOs picking him up and taking him away.
Ex-inspector?
In the Cameron Highlands?
Oh, yes.
At the
Jim
time.
Thompson debate.
The only,
See,
the
this is
only,
what
the
goes
only,
on in
the
Cameron
only
Highlands.
inspector up here was a Malay, and he was probationary.
So is it solved yet?
No.
There's so many stories about Cameron Highlands where people disappear. Many theories and many strolls. Maybe I should take a walk. It's a land of getting lost.
If you like the idea of getting far away from it all and losing yourself in the hills, one of the best places to do so in Malaysia is Bario, in the remote highlands of Sarawak. Accessible by small aircraft from Miri, this settlement in the Kelabit Highlands sits on an isolated plateau 1,000 meters high, deep in the interior of Borneo.
Towards the end of World War II, the infamous anthropologist Tom Harrison parachuted behind enemy lines. His exploration of Kelabit cultures formed fascinating themes in modern anthropology. In these hills, they are one of the most interesting traditional cultures alive today.
Tom Harrison first came here on a covert military operation, but being an anthropologist, he was soon enamored by the fearsome but friendly Kelabits. My guide David Lian Labang remembers stories from his grandfather of seeing Harrison jump out from what they called a metal bird.
I can't imagine what it was like then, just to parachute out of nowhere and then land in the middle of nowhere, in a world within, as he describes his book, you know? Did your grandfather ever tell you stories about Tom? Close call! What was it about Baria that Tom Harrison was so fascinated by?
He was fascinated with the people. And with the culture that we drank a lot, you know, we made rice wines and all those things. So he liked that, you know.
He liked the alcohol.
Yeah, he liked the alcohol very much.
The Kelabit Highlanders are known to make a mighty fine rice wine. And that's probably because it's made with some of the finest rice grains on the planet.
How am I doing so far?
Yes. That's how we did it.
Approval.
Yes.
Remote longhouse villages like Pat Longan are famous for having an industrious spirit. making the best of their isolation to grow a mark of distinction.
This was recognized by our state government of agriculture department that Patlungan barley rice is considered as the best among all the barley rice. This was considered as the most expensive rice. We sold it for €2 for 100 grams, which is very, very expensive actually.
What makes it so unique?
It's the climate, it's the elevation, clean water, and the soil.
This is 100% organic.
And do a lot of people come here just for the rice?
We do have tourists coming here, and they said this is the best rice in the world.
The cool climate of this pristine plateau makes the Kelabit Highlands the perfect place for long treks.
Ah, done for! I'm stuck. Wrong way.
For David, they present the perfect opportunity to explore his own ancestry.
For me, being born and raised in the city, I felt that I needed to find an identity as a Kelabit. Even though my parents were both Kelabits,
right.
I need to find what does it mean to be a Kelabit.
Oh my gosh. I've never seen anything like this before. This is the megalithic stone structure you're talking about. How in the world did they get this big slab of rock on these two slabs here with this tiny little rock holding that up?
Ancient megalithic